Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Lavinia and I post beauty videos mostly regarding makeup and skincare 3 times a week every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday at 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if that's something you're interested in, I would love for you to join my channel by hitting the big red subscribe button. So today, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different, and that is hair removal. Now, you know, my channel, although I do focus around makeup and skincare, we do sometimes talk about fashion, hair, and even hair removal. I have done videos on dermaplaning, waxing, and different videos of that sort. Today in particular, we are going to be talking about IPL hair removal. This is a more permanent form of hair removal, and I have been testing out this method for the past 8 weeks now, and I'm here to tell you guys the whole experience I went through and really going to be breaking down this form of hair removal, my full experience, and what actually happened and the results I may or may have not seen. Now, this video is in partnership with RoseSkinCo. They asked me if I wanted to try this product, and I've been trying it for about 8 weeks now, and they are partnering with me on this video since I did want to share my experience with you guys. And like always with all these skincare trials I do or makeup trials, I applied that same logic to this product, and I basically did a full 8-week trial, tracking my progress. And now I'm here to share that all with you guys. So I'm really going to be diving into what people maybe don't tell you about IPL hair removal, all the things that maybe you don't know, as well as what you can expect. So if you want to see all of that, just keep on watching.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave, I call you right back to check for monsters in my streets.
So I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about the product, the brand, all the product information, just like with one of my regular skincare trials. This product right here by RoseSkinCo is an at-home IPL hair removal device. And as I mentioned, this method of hair removal is supposed to be more long-lasting, more long-term. And I'm not here to tell you, use this product, your hair will be gone. No, this is a product you're going to have to use continuously for a long period of time to see those results. And we're going to get into the results pretty soon, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is just instantly going to get rid of all your hair. That's what a razor is for, but the results aren't as long lasting. So with a product like this, every single time you're using it, you are diminishing the amount of hair growth and how fast your hair is going to grow over time. So RoseSkinCo is an up-and-coming beauty brand, and overall I do like the mission they stand by, which is to make easy and accessible beauty products that make people feel good in their own skin. I am all about skin positivity. You guys know I've been struggling with acne for 7 years, and I'm all about that feeling good and confident in your own skin. I want to put a little disclaimer here. If feeling comfortable in your skin means removing your hair, then do so. That's how I feel comfortable. But if you do not want to remove your body hair, you do not have to do that at all. It's your body hair, and no matter what you choose to do, that is your choice. But if you are looking into a more long-lasting hair removal option, this might be a good one for you. So I'm going to open this up and show you what it looks like. So this is it right here. It's just a handheld device, as you can see here. So let's get into how this actually works. IPL is different than laser, and I feel like a lot of people confuse the two. Now, I have actually done laser hair removal in the past. I have not done the full 8 sessions that are usually recommended. I have only done like 3 sessions. And let me just say, laser hair removal is very, very pricey. Now, compared to something like this, more at home, this is going to be a way more affordable option. But with that, it is a different technology, and I think it's important we break that down first so you guys understand the difference, because you may think, oh, well, it's just the same thing as getting laser done in an in-office treatment. So basically, the overall basics of this device is that it uses light-based technology to target the root of the hair, and IPL does stand for intense pulsed light, which is a form of light therapy. I would describe it as more of a simple process compared to a laser, and it is still used in office as well as in these at-home devices. So as with lots of these light therapy based treatments, IPL works in a similar way to emit that wavelength in order to target the root of the hair, and what it's really looking for is pigment. So if you have really light hair, this may not work for you as much because it does look for the pigment in the root. Overall, the results you want to see out of this is more sparse hair and the hair not growing back as fast as it would have before. Now, of course, is this product safe? What are the things you have to consider before using a product like this? So there have been many studies done that show that IPL is not only effective, but a relatively safe treatment to even do from the comfort of your home. Due to this, they have become a fairly popular option for long-term hair removal that can be done at home or in office at a relatively more inexpensive price. And overall, with my experience of this handset, I found it very easy to use. I did not come across any safety hazards. I found it very, very safe and effective. Now you may be thinking, can the light that is being emitted be dangerous for the skin? And all IPL devices do have to have a standard, and that standard being that the UV rays are filtered to block out any wavelengths that are less than 470 nanometers. And overall, this is done to make sure that there is no damage done to the outer layer of the skin, preventing any long-term damage from UV rays that can potentially lead to skin cancer, skin aging, and overall damage. You don't have to worry about any of that. Now, how do you know if this treatment is right for you? So as I said, the IPL does need a dark root to be able to sense and then work. So I would say if you have super blonde hair, red hair, or even gray hair, this probably won't be for you. So if you do have naturally darker hair, this is probably a good option. Now, what this also means is that the device needs to be able to differentiate between your hair color and your skin color. So if you do have a darker complexion, which means your skin contains more melanin, the device just might have a harder time differentiating between your skin tone and the hair, which may end up burning you. So if you do have a deeper complexion, just take some precaution with that. Overall, how well this will work will really depend on the color of your hair and how deep your skin tone is. So now that we have like all those facts covered, let's get into my actual experience and first impressions to start off with this product. So the first time I got this, I was super excited to start this journey. Now I'll explain kind of my before state with my body hair. So on my legs, I've never had any laser hair removal. I've just done like waxing and shaving over the years. And I would consider my leg hair, especially from the knee down, to be pretty thick. You know, just like a few days after I would shave, it would get pretty prickly. I'd have kind of that strawberry look to the legs where you could see the hairs kind of poking through. And my skin also had the tendency to have ingrown hairs, especially on the inner part of my legs. Above the knee, my hair was pretty fine, but it still grew fast. And then I also want to do this on my arms. You can see from these pictures, I did have pretty long and dark arm hair, which never really bothered me, but I was like, might as well try this product out here too to see the results. I also decided to try this product out on my underarms, where I have had laser done before. I did about 4 treatments of laser on my underarms, so that's why in these before pictures you can see that I don't have that much hair in those areas and it is pretty fine. But I'm like, let's see if this device could do even more and kind of continue on the progress from where I left off with the laser hair removal. Then I basically had to prep my skin for the treatment. So basically what you're going to do is shave anywhere you want to use this treatment. You do not want to wax. Please do not wax. Please don't pluck the hair. Don't use an epilator. And the reason being is because this light does target the root of the hair. If there is no root to sense, it will simply not work. So therefore, if you shave, you are just taking off the top layer and the root is still underneath. Now you also don't want to do this with just the hair out on the surface. Honestly, it could hurt a lot because this can burn the hair off and there's just no reason to do that. So make sure you shave everything. I would also recommend exfoliating before. So I just took a loofah with some body wash, exfoliated lightly on everywhere I did want to use this, shaved the area, and then I was good to go. Now you can actually use this product all over the body, which is really cool. You can even do a full Brazilian with this if you'd like. You can use it on the face, just please avoid the eye area, but it is nice that you can kind of use it wherever you please. Now it's time to start off the treatment. You want to make sure that the skin is clean and dry, but do not apply any lotions, oils, or anything like that before starting this. And then you can plug it in. So it does come with a cord right here, and you just plug it right into the top like that. This little light turns on the back, and you click it. It will turn on, kind of sound like a vacuum. And the first time I used this, I did use it on the first level. I did not want it to be too intense on my skin since I didn't know how sensitive my skin would be to the IPL. So I would suggest that for you as well. Start off low, make sure that is not too much for your skin, and you can work your way up as you go. So once you have this thing turned on, and I had it on the first level, there are 3 different modes you can use with this product. There's the stamp mode, which happens by just clicking like that. And there's also the glide mode, which if you hold down the button and glide it along the body, it'll automatically click every half second, as you can see here. There's also the automatic mode, which if you hold down this button right here until all the lights start flashing, then you can let go, and every time it senses your skin, it will emit the light. But as you can see, if I hold it away from the skin, nothing will happen. As soon as it sees that contact, it will flash. Now, you actually don't need to use eye protection with this, and the reason being is because, as I said, especially with the auto mode, it has to be against the skin in order to work, so you can't just flash it in the air. So personally, the auto mode was my favorite, and this is what I used here. So basically, I did my legs, and I would start at the very bottom, work my way up to the top, then move over and go all the way up again. I did this from my ankles all the way up to my upper thigh. I did this on my arm from my wrist to my elbow, and then my underarms as well as Brazilian. Overall, doing all those places on my body took around like 10 to 15 minutes. I just put on a show, did the whole treatment, and I continue to use this about twice a week. If you feel like this is too much for your skin, you can do once a week, but I would recommend doing twice a week for the first 12 weeks to really get the full results. And as I continued with this treatment, I went up in intensity over the weeks, and on the 8th week I did go all the way up, and on that highest level on the skin you do feel a little bit of like heat. I would say that's really the only thing. It's not painful. It kind of feels like maybe a little prick at most, but it's definitely not painful. If you're very sensitive to any sort of pain, I would stick to the lower intensities just to make sure this device isn't harming you. You want to just make sure that you're hitting each spot of the skin you're trying to treat once, so I just went all the way up, not going over any place twice. And after I was done the treatment, I applied lotion all over the places that I did it on, since my skin is super dry, and I continue to do this process twice a week over the next 8 weeks. So now let's talk about my overall results. So I did continue to use this, and at around, like, I would say the 4-week mark, I wasn't seeing that much of a change in how fast my hair was growing as well as the thickness. So I was like, okay, this is a gimmick. I did decide to continue using it, and because it is stated that you should be using it for at least 12 weeks, I'm like, you know what, let's keep using it. Let's use it for the full time and see what I notice. Now that we are at 8 weeks, I do definitely notice a change. I would say right after that 4-week mark, when I started upping that intensity to the highest 2, I was really seeing a difference in how my hair was growing. So let's kind of look at the before and after. Let's start with my legs. So when I started this treatment, as I said, very prickly, kind of that strawberry hair look. My hair would grow back very fast. Now the hair does still grow back, you know, in a couple days, but it is a lot finer. If I let the hair on my legs grow out now, when I run my hand over, it doesn't feel like that prickly spiky hair feel. It feels almost like the hair on my thighs did before, that fine hair, which is really nice because honestly now in the summer I didn't have to like shave as often, so that made it really handy. On my thighs it is hard to tell like a before and after, so I'm not even going to include it since my hair is really light, but overall I've just noticed the hair grows back a little bit slower than it did before. Moving on to my arms, at the start, as you can see, my hair was fairly dark and it did grow back pretty fast. I had never shaved my arms before this process, so I did notice those first few weeks my arm hair was growing back pretty fast. Now I can kind of go a week without shaving, where by the end of the week there will be hairs here and there, but it won't be as consistent, and it'll be a lot more sparse than it was before. And then for my underarms, of course, I did do the laser hair removal beforehand. There isn't like that big of a comparison, but I will say I do think it just helped continue on that process, kind of slowing down the growth of the hairs that remained and making it more sparse as well. And then I did say that I did a full Brazilian with this. I think you can definitely use it in those areas if you're very sensitive. This works fine. You do have that option, and I definitely did see results over those 8 weeks, similar to what I saw on my legs and my arms. Now let's talk about some precautions I definitely think you should take. If you just did like a tanning bed, I would wait like 2 weeks just to make sure your skin's not too sensitive when using this. Make sure you're not using it when your skin is wet, and especially not in the shower. I always waited to make sure I was fully dry, and then I would go in with this device. Also, I would recommend putting on sunscreen. You know, you should be putting on sunscreen every single day, but especially after using a device like this, since your skin just might be a little bit more sensitive to the sun. You don't want to have any complications there, so just make sure you're taking taking that precaution to have that sun protection. So in conclusion, what do I really think about IPL and would I recommend it? I did really like how simple this was to use, how it's just a handheld device. I will definitely continue to keep using this device. I'm interested to see the results I have later on too as we approach 12 weeks. So if you guys want to see an update video, then I'm happy to do that for you. And then after those 12 weeks are done, I will just have to maintain it once a week just to make sure that the hair growth doesn't come back. So I do see a lot of ads, you know, all over the internet, and as you probably have seen too, I don't think IPL is something that is going to be the end all, just ultimate hair removal where you use it a couple times and boom, all your problems are solved. Definitely not. This takes time, this takes consistent use, and it takes patience to really see those results and understand that it is not complete hair removal. It is slowing down that hair growth and reducing the amount of hair you have, which honestly for me was really what I was trying to get. I think the price is great for this. I think, you know, it's gonna last you a long time. It does come with a lot of light pulses, and it might just be an easier and less expensive option than going and getting laser. But do remember that IPL and laser are different, but you can see similar results from them. Now, at first, did I think that this maybe would not work, that it was a gimmick? Yes, but I do think with consistent use you can see results like I did. It's definitely one of my new preferred methods of hair removal, as you know, it wasn't painful, it didn't leave any scarring, risk of ingrown hairs. As with waxing, it might have some complications, as well as it can get expensive to go somewhere to get waxed every time, and even if you have an at-home kit, it can just be messy. And I don't know, I do prefer this whole shave slash IPL method a lot. And I do think this is what I'm going to be sticking to from now on. If you are interested in checking this out, I will link it down below in the description, and I do have a discount code that you guys can use to save some money on this product that I will put here on the screen as well as in the description box below. But if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and also make sure to turn on my post notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. If you want more content from me, you can go check me out on the Acne channel. I am a weekly host on there, as well as my TikTok and Instagram for more daily content. I hope you're having a fantastic day or night whenever you're watching. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Oh, you tell me stories, you tuck me in, and the second you leave I call you right back to check for monsters in my sheets.